Hello and welcome to this Wagepoint tutorial on how to connect Wagepoint to QuickBooks Online. My name is Jennie Moore and I'll be taking you through this journey today. Now it is time to go into Wagepoint and connect to QuickBooks Online. From the top right-hand corner, select the down arrow key. Proceed to Add-ons. You'll notice that there are two companies that integrate into Wagepoint. Here we have QuickBooks Online. Select the Connect button. From here, it will take you to the QuickBooks Online API, in which you will link your company's firm, if you were the accountant, or if you were the client, to your individual QuickBooks Online account. On this screen, you will authorize Intuit to connect your data with Wagepoint. View the terms and conditions here and select Connect. You'll see that the API is working to connect the two applications together. Once you have successfully connected Wagepoint to QuickBooks Online, the following screen will appear. You have two methods in order to transfer the payroll information from Wagepoint into QuickBooks Online. The first method is the journal entry method. Somewhat a little bit more complex. Think of it like a basic journal entry where you have your credits that need to balance to your debits. This could be commonly used if you're wanting to use a payroll clearing account to reconcile the payroll entries as they're going into QuickBooks Online against the amounts that are being withdrawn from the bank account. What's important to do before this step is to ensure that all of your payroll expense items are set up in QuickBooks Online through your chart of accounts. QuickBooks Online is being imported into Wagepoint, and you can see them from the down arrow key here. If you do not see the expense accounts you wish to use, please pause now, go into QuickBooks Online, and create them. Also, it's a good practice to refresh your screen so that the new accounts will populate on this list for you. For today, we're going to use the bills function. What I like about the bills function is it will create an accounts payable invoice in QuickBooks Online from Wagepoint. When the bank feed comes through that deducts the appropriate amount, you can match that bill against the bank feed in QuickBooks Online. This is the more simplistic method. Now I've gone ahead and connected my matrix here for each line item. So for instance, EI expense, I have a chart of accounts in Jennie's Cupcakes, which is my QuickBooks Online demo file, for cost of labor EI. Now, you don't have to segregate all of these particular items by type. You can put them all to cost of labor or wages or payroll or really whatever makes sense to you. But what's important for you to recognize at this point is these chart of accounts are being pulled from QuickBooks Online and you do need to map them accordingly. For instance, the processing fees, I would typically charge that to bank charges. The GST, HST on the processing fees, I'd ensure that it's connected to the proper HST account. Then what you do is you select Save. Now the next step, if we're going to use the QuickBooks Online Bill feature to transfer the Wagepoint payroll information into QuickBooks Online, you need to create Wagepoint as a vendor. What I like about Wagepoint is they make it super easy to do that right now within the portal. So let's go ahead and do that. We do not have an existing vendor right now for Wagepoint, so we're going to select this button over here, Create Wagepoint as a Vendor, and select Save. Once that is done, now you can go over to Select a Vendor. From the down arrow key, select Wagepoint Incorporated and select Save. Wonderful. Now we're ready to export our very first payroll entry into QuickBooks Online. Now remember, I mentioned that you had two options, the journal entry or the bill. Remember, we are using the bill function. From here, I'm going to select the last pay date. In this case, we're going to go with August 12th. Now, for segregation of duties, if you didn't want payroll information being inputted into QuickBooks Online, if you have other users in QuickBooks Online, you may choose to maybe not include the payroll register or include it depending on what you need. Either case, you have full control over what entry and what supporting documentation is put into QuickBooks Online. These particular PDFs will be attached as an attachment within QuickBooks Online where you'll be able to open it up. And now we're going to export the payroll. Notice in the top right hand corner that we have an error message. This is a common issue when setting up a new QuickBooks Online file and connecting it to Wagepoint. What this error means is that the sales tax module has not been set up in QuickBooks Online. If you are receiving this message, pause from this tutorial and go and set up the sales tax module within QuickBooks Online. Then come back to Wagepoint, refresh, and post the entry normally. Once you have updated QuickBooks Online for the sales tax, you can now export the entry again. Now you are ready to look at your accounts payable invoice from Wagepoint in QuickBooks Online. To do that, the simplest way is to go up to the top right hand corner where the search bar is and click it. You'll notice the latest entry is your bill from Wagepoint. From here, you'll notice all the transactions you have aligned within Wagepoint. Scroll down a little further, and you'll also notice the attachments that you selected when you exported the entry in Wagepoint. Your next step is to record the payment of the bill. Let's do that now. We're going to make a payment. From here, you're going to select the payment date. In this case, let's say it's September 1st. Then select Save and Close. And there you go. You have just processed your first payroll using Wagepoint implemented into QuickBooks Online. Have yourself a wonderful day.